My name is Karen Sharma. I'm a daughter, a sister, a partner, and maybe most importantly to me, an auntie and first generation South Asian, born and raised here in Treaty 1 territory. When I think about the community work that I do, I think mostly about a couple of organizations. The Women's Health Clinic, a feminist-centered health clinic that specializes in sexual and health and reproductive health care services, and QPOC Winnipeg, Queer People of Color Winnipeg. And we're an organization that fosters the creation of programming and supports and services for queer and trans, Black, Indigenous people of color, recognizing that so many spaces, including queer spaces, are not safe spaces for queer and trans, Black, Indigenous people of color to be in. In all of the work that I do, whether it's, through my day job in human rights or working with the Women's Health Clinic or QPOC, I try to work from a place that centers equity and accountability and justice for Black, Indigenous people of color. I think that's so important, not only because of my own experiences with systemic racism, witnessing the harm of systemic and institutionalized racism in the communities that I care about, but also because I really do recognize that I have benefited so much from the hard labor and work that folks have done before me, elders in my communities, my queer aunties that have come before me, who've created so much space and opportunity for me. And I really feel like honoring the legacy of that work and thinking about the generations that come after me requires me to keep this work going of centering equity and justice and holding institutions accountable for dismantling white supremacy and racism. In terms of, aside from kind of community work, another really important aspect of community building for me is being an auntie. And maybe that sounds kind of strange, but I think being an auntie for not only my nephew, but within the queer community is so important because aunties, I don't know if you feel this way, but aunties certainly in my life have been people who've been safe and understanding and helped to raise me in a non-judgmental way. They made space for fun and allowed me to sort of express myself and be creative. Those were the aunties that I knew growing up. And in the queer community where our biological ties are often disrupted or tenuous, having queer aunties, people that you can go to who are supportive, who can provide care, who love unconditionally, who understand the importance of fun and play, I think is so critical. And so I like to think that part of my community work is being a queer auntie and being someone that my community members can go to when they need support or when they just need someone to laugh with. So in addition to doing community work, I'm also an auntie.